The range of power units is very wide. Almost all of them are worthy of recommendation, with the exception of the VSIXS. Advantages include simple design, high strength, and availability of spare parts. However, a lot depends on service and actual mileage. Therefore, never believe the seller's assurances that the engine runs like clockwork. In gasoline engines, the throttle block often fails. Beware of Chinese fakes, they do not last long. Most of the 1.9 TDIs have gigantic mileage, which is also twisted. Nevertheless, even in the event of a hit on a knowingly faulty unit, bringing it into working condition will not require large financial costs. True, it should be borne in mind that after 300 to 400,000 kilometers, there is a high probability of wear of the distribution pump and camshaft cams. Advantages of the 1.9 TDI: durability, low fuel consumption, and the ability to increase power tuning. V-shaped motors are already seriously worn out. The 2.8-liter petrol unit suffers from problems with the oil pump. The 2.5 TDI is very tricky. With high mileage, camshafts wear out. In addition, it is uneconomical and expensive to maintain and repair. Even worse, if an automatic transmission is installed in a pair of turbo diesels. Fortunately, the very problematic Multitronic CVT was not used here. Despite the overall positive reputation, the Audi A4 B5 has one weak point: a multi-link front suspension. It is made of light alloy metals and therefore sometimes wears out after several tens of thousands of kilometers. In addition, the front suspension is expensive to repair. For the work, we'll have to pay an additional half. The owners of all-wheel drive modifications are not in the best position either. There is also a multi-link suspension at the back. In front-wheel drive versions, a fairly durable torsion beam is installed. In a 20-year-old car, it is difficult to identify typical faults. Given the age, anything can break, especially in old copies. Fortunately, well-maintained A4 B5 rarely break down, and in case of problems they do not require special knowledge and special services. Over time, the power steering pump often starts to make noise. Leaks appear in the cooling system through the pump, radiator, and rubber hoses. Old age becomes the main reason for the failure of the central lock, generator, starter, and lighting of the air conditioning controls. The airbag malfunction indicator light comes on intermittently. The reason is the disconnection of the contact under the seat or the loss of contact in the steering wheel. There are widespread problems with the windshield wiper mechanism. To restore performance, it is enough to replace the bushings and pins. In older copies, pixels burn out on the onboard computer display. The first-generation Audi A4 is a fairly popular car in our market. One of the leading classifieds portals has about 1,000 listings for sale. The difference in condition is enormous. More expensive cars, as a rule, have no signs of corrosion and boast a good interior. Rust, if found, is only on the elements of the suspension and exhaust system. Copies from the lower price range often have a shabby interior and a body that shimmers, in various colors or shades, the consequences of inexpensive repairs. In addition, owners of old A4 B5 often refuse high-quality repairs that require decent costs. Such an instance soon turns into a hackneyed wagon. Then the next owner falls on the shoulders of a major overhaul of the engine and gearbox, patching holes and updating the suspension. If the car requires all these works, then the costs will be comparable to the cost of the car itself.